Hello guys, my name is Godian and I am a developer relations advocate. So in this guide, I'm going to be showing you guys how to deploy the shared agent. And basically the shared agent is built with and written in TypeScript. It is actually a template that helps you fetch the price of Ethereum from two different APIs. So basically what it does is that it takes the average price and then push the price to an Ethereum contract. So when it actually takes that price, it pushes it to Ethereum contract and it gives us this. So if you are actually looking to fetch any kind of off-chain data, that is, for example, your Ethereum price, it is basically going to help you to do that. And for now, we are going to be using Ethereum Sepolia account and of course near testnet tokens and near testnet accounts. So in this guide, you would be running it locally, okay? And of course, you will also be running the agents via the trusted executable environment. And for you to successfully do that, you actually need to have certain things installed, such as your Node.js. You need to also install your Docker desktop. And of course, you also need to install near CLI so that you'll be able to interact with near smart contracts. And of course, creating your near account, testing the account easily. So let's move right into it. So what you need to do first is to clone this particular template, which I did already. And then when you're done cloning the template, you install your near shading and your shade agent tooling. Then you create your agents, you create your testnet, your near testnet account, and you need to make note of something is that your testnet account needs to be a name that you can remember and one of your choice. This is a sample, which you can see example name.testnet. Replace it with a unique account ID. Set up your Docker. Make sure your Docker is running in background. And for me to actually show you that my Docker is running in background, I would simply need to come here, like it said in this guide, copy this. After you have successfully installed your Docker, you come here. I'm going to open a new terminal. So you come here. I'm going to do something right now. So you come here and you paste this here. Now, Docker is running in background. So if I actually click here, you can see Docker is running in background. Okay. So the next thing you will need to do right now is to install dependencies. When you've confirmed your Docker is running in background, when you're done doing that, you come here and run your shared CLI agent and you copy this, you come here and then you paste it here. So I'm going to run my agents locally right now. Okay, just like you can see, I'm going to do that. So I've done that. Now, one thing you need to know is that while this is actually creating, is that while you're actually trying to make changes to your env file, which is this, be sure that your account ID has your testnet account, which I created here. And of course, every single thing that you are actually running, okay, is actually going to be dependent on that. And for you to successfully do that, you need to also make sure that you have actually created a Phala Cloud account. And this Phala Cloud account you to get your testnet, your Phala Cloud token. So the API token is basically going to let you interact with this particular agent. So for example, when you come here, let's say test token, let's say test. So I've created this. This is going to be that token which I'll be using. So if you're a new user or a developer trying to get a new token, you simply come to cloud.phala.network. The guide is actually here. You can simply find that in the guide. and it basically helps to provide a hosting service, private and secure, for you to run your trusted environment on it, and it also makes you to actually make use of that template easily. So when you're done doing that, the next thing would be for you to rename your env file, which is actually in .example by default when you install your template, to this, and then actually run this. When you have confirmed, which you can actually get to do that locally via your CLI terminal by running this particular command. So you actually get to run this particular command, that is this. Okay, you run this. This is to actually make your terminal and your shared agent to recognize that your .env file actually exists. When you do that, it simply helps you to run that successfully. For some other persons, or if you haven't done that, you are actually going to get a certain error message, which is going to be make sure you have set the new account ID and to check if that particular file exists. So when you're done doing that, the next thing we are actually going to do right now, since we have created our agent, is to open a new terminal. And just like the guide says here, we've run it locally. Let's actually run this app so that we can actually start it on our local host. Come here and we paste this here. So when you're done pasting it, now we are actually going to automatically create this. So right now, our app is running on port 300, like you can see. So if you actually get to click on that, so I'm going to do that right now. Now you've seen the message. It shows that it has successfully been executed and it is running on localhost. Now, this is the localhost. You have successfully run your shared agent. You can do basic thing as interacting with the agents, checking for your account details. You can check for the Ethereum account, interact with the API via localhost and all of that. So let's try something for an example. So since this is actually running, we are going to do this for an example. We are going to copy this to get account ID and the balance. Okay, so we are going to come here and press this here. And this is our account ID, as you can see, and this is our balance. We are actually interacting it via our local host. And then let's try to check the Ethereum account itself. So you come here and you press this here and you run it. Now we have 0, and this is actually our Ethereum address. Okay, this is basically our testnet accounts which we actually created, and you can actually get to find the details from actually getting to create it using this particular command which we actually did here. Okay, which you can see here. Now let's move down straight into T deployment. Now let's run our CLI. Let's go to our terminal and create a new terminal. So right now we're going to create a new terminal and I'm going to run this. So right now we are actually creating that so that we can actually get to interact with our CLI tool itself. So we're actually installing the shared agent CLI. When you're actually done doing that, the next thing you have to do right now, and of course, which you actually did already, is to come here and start the front end. The front end is basically going to be us actually getting to interact with it without having to use localhost. Okay, that is using API. So we are going to come right here and do that, run that. So we're creating another terminal right now. So I'm going to run that. Now we've created our terminal successfully. So if we come here and we click on this link, it's going to bring us to this. You can see right now, our local host, you should note, is on port 3001. Our first local host was on 3000. Now the new local host is on 3001. So right now we are actually on our front-end interface, which was basically the goal of this particular tutorial. And let's copy our wallet address, for example, and paste it here. Okay, now let's say we want 10 of these. Okay, say it can be more than 2. So we're going to request and successful. We've successfully interacted with that. We've gotten our first set, and if we come to this, and of course, to let's if we come to this, let's reload this. Let's reload this. Let's reload this. Seems that is actually not showing. So let's do this. So let's copy this, okay, and then get Ethereum from this. Let's paste this address here. We're going to receive 0.05 Sepolia Ethereum. So now the testnet token has actually been sent to us. So we are actually going to come right here and then reload this. Now we can see it here, 0.05, just like it was actually done here. Okay. For you to confirm if that transaction has been successful is for you to click on this particular Etherscan link, which it gave to you. So you actually going to see this here. Now, this is actually a successful transaction on the Sepolia testnet account. And this is the account. Okay, this is your wallet address, your testnet wallet address. And this is the transaction hash. This is the value of the Ethereum that was actually being sent. We've successfully carried out that transaction. We have actually been able to create and interact with the front end. So let's click to set the Ethereum price to Ethereum smart contract. So we have successfully set price. If you reload this, you're going to see it. This is it. And now you have that. So yeah, that's it. So we've come to the end of this guide. If you do have any question, you can always reach out to the support team at NIE. You can always book a session with the team if you actually want to do whatever you want to do. If you want to get to deploy your own agent, and custom it to whatever kind of tool and whatever kind of development environment that you're trying to work on. Basically, this is actually a sample for you to fetch Ethereum price and then interact on the front end, which is actually making use of Phala Cloud and of course shared agents as well as near smart contract, deploying it to Ethereum smart contract. So every single one of these particular steps is actually necessary for you to have a successful deployment and to interact with it. So make sure you have that at the back of your mind when you are actually trying to do that. There is an article that I would actually be attaching to this. So when you actually looking to make reference to that, you can successfully do that. Thank you for watching.